Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Hey there, curious minds. We all chase that feeling of waking up truly refreshed, don't we? That incredible mental clarity, spring in your step, ready to tackle the day. But have you ever paused to wonder what complex, invisible work your brain is doing behind the scenes, night after night, to deliver that feeling? Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and, well, absolutely crucial parts of your sleep cycle, REM sleep. We've got a fantastic stack of research and insights to explore, detailing everything from the mechanics of what REM sleep actually is, how much you genuinely need, why it's so fundamentally vital for your brain's performance, and even some powerful natural ways to optimize it. Our mission today is really to give you a shortcut to truly understanding why those rapid eye movements behind your closed eyelids are doing some serious, often unsung heavy lifting for your mental clarity, your mood, and your long-term health. Think of it as uncovering the secret ingredient to a well-oiled mind.
That's absolutely right. And understanding REM sleep, it isn't just about hitting a number on your sleep tracker. It's about unlocking optimal mental health, boosting cognitive function, and truly enhancing your brain's daily activity. To deeply rest and genuinely restore, your body absolutely needs to move efficiently through all the stages of sleep. But this often overlooked REM stage is, in many ways, kind of the hero of mental restoration. We're going to help you see why.
Okay, let's unpack this for a moment then. What exactly is REM sleep? We often hear about sleep in general terms, but it's a sophisticated process. REM is one of the four primary stages of the human sleep cycle. The first three are non-rapid eye movement, or NREM, stages. That includes light sleep, N1 and N2, right? And then deep sleep, N3.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating here, and often quite surprising to people, is the sheer activity happening during REM. Far from being quiet, passive, your eyes are actually moving rapidly behind closed eyelids, hence the name rapid eye movement. But maybe more profoundly, your brain activity spikes. Sometimes it even looks a bit like wakefulness on scans. This is also the stage where most of your vivid narrative dreaming occurs. And while it typically makes up only about, say, 20–25% of your total sleep, its impact is disproportionately crucial for your mental landscape. Think of it as your brain's night shift, but instead of clocking out, it's going into overdrive on specific vital tasks.
Right. And it's not just a single event that happens once a night, is it? You mentioned cycles.
Exactly. It's part of a beautiful repeating rhythm. REM sleep typically begins about 90 minutes after you first fall asleep. Then, your brain cycles through NREM and REM several times throughout the night. What's particularly interesting is how these cycles evolve. Each subsequent REM period tends to get longer and, well, deeper, especially in the latter half of the night. Which means, and this is important, if you cut your sleep short, say, only getting 5 or 6 hours, you're often sacrificing those really valuable extended REM periods, which are actually the most beneficial ones.
That's a critical point right there. So with these cycles in mind, the big question for many listeners is probably, how much REM sleep do you actually need to get these benefits? Because percentages can sometimes feel a bit abstract.
Indeed. Yeah, what our research consistently shows is that for most adults, that 20–25% of your total sleep translates to a target of roughly 90 to 120 minutes each night. But as you might guess, this isn't a one-size-fits-all number. It varies significantly by age. For instance, infants, up to 12 months, they can spend up to 50% of their total sleep in REM, half.
50%. Wow, that's a massive difference from adult needs. Why so high for infants?
Well, it really speaks to the absolute criticality of REM for early development. At that stage, REM sleep is just a powerhouse for neural development, for synaptic pruning, which is like your brain tidying up and refining its connections. And for overall rapid brain growth, is essentially laying the foundational wiring for everything they'll learn and experience. It's truly incredible to think about.
So if babies need that much, what about older children, teens, and, well, us adults?
Right. So as we mature, the percentage shifts. Children and teens from about 1 to 18 years typically still need a robust 20–25% of their total sleep in REM. That's similar to adults aged 18–64 who are aiming for that 90–120-minute target we mentioned. Then as we reach older adulthood, say 65 and up, there is often a natural slight reduction in the REM sleep requirement. So if you're consistently getting maybe around 8 hours of total sleep, you'd ideally expect to spend about 1.5 to 2 hours in the REM stage. Assuming, of course, what we call a normal sleep architecture, basically. Your sleep cycles are progressing in a healthy, uninterrupted sequence.
Okay, right. This is where it gets really interesting and becomes incredibly personal for you, the listener. The why behind REM sleep. Our sources consistently highlight 6 powerful transformative benefits. And this isn't just about feeling rested, is it? It's about fundamental brain function, well-being, even long-term health.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture of overall daily functioning and resilience, REM sleep is, well, it's non-negotiable for a few key things. First, emotional regulation. This is profound. During REM, your brain is actively processing emotions. It's helping you integrate experiences, even traumatic memories, into a less emotionally charged narrative. It's almost like your brain's nightly therapy session.
Nightly therapy. I like that.
Yeah. And without enough REM, you might find yourself more prone to mood swings, heightened anxiety, or even a greater vulnerability to depression, because your brain hasn't had that chance to properly file away and make sense of the emotional weight of your day.
So it's essentially taking the edge off our daily emotional experiences, preventing them from piling up into chronic stress. That's huge right there.
Precisely. And that leads us nicely to the second benefit, memory and learning. This is perhaps one of the most well-known roles. During REM, your brain isn't just resting, it's incredibly active, consolidating those short-term memories from your day into long-term storage. Think of it like moving files from your computer's temporary desktop folder into organized permanent directories. It's doing that housekeeping.
Okay.
And this process directly supports your ability to learn new skills, adapt your thinking, what we call cognitive flexibility, and significantly enhances your problem-solving abilities. It's genuinely why sleeping on a problem actually works. REM is doing the work.
I've always heard that phrase, but to know that REM sleep is literally the mechanism behind it, that's incredible. Okay, moving on to the third benefit. You already touched on it with infants.
Yes, brain development. As we discussed, that nearly 50% REM sleep in infants is just crucial. It's actively contributing to the formation of neural pathways, the growth of brain tissue, and that synaptic pruning we mentioned, refining and strengthening the vital connections while discarding the unnecessary ones. It's building the very foundation of cognition and personality. And while it's most pronounced in early life, this developmental role continues, maybe at a reduced rate, throughout our lives, supporting neuroplasticity.
That truly frames sleep as such an active, constructive process, not just downtime. Okay, what about our creative spark? Does REM play a role there?
Oh, absolutely. That's benefit number 4, creativity and imagination. REM sleep is basically a hotbed of divergent thinking. This is where your brain makes unexpected connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. It's when new solutions to old problems can spontaneously emerge and your imagination just runs wild. If you've ever woken up with a brilliant idea or a fresh perspective, chances are your REM sleep played a pretty significant role. It's like your brain's freestyle jazz session leading to novel insights.
Wow, so it's not just helping us remember what we learned, it's helping us innovate with what we know. That's a game changer for anyone in a creative field or, frankly, anyone facing complex challenges.
Totally, yeah. And closely linked to that is the 5th benefit, mental resilience. Quality REM sleep helps regulate the stress hormone cortisol. So when your REM is healthy, your body is better equipped to manage its stress response. This boosts your resilience to the daily emotional and psychological stressors we all face. It acts like a buffer, basically, making you less reactive and more capable of bouncing back from challenges. Without enough of it, the world often feels like it's dialed up to 11, you know?
A built-in stress management system. That makes
Yeah.
sense. And the last benefit, you mentioned 6.
The 6th, and arguably one of the most critical for long-term health, is brain detoxification. During REM sleep, our sources confirm that the glymphatic system is highly active. Now, if you haven't heard of it, think of the glymphatic system as your brain's dedicated nightly plumbing system. It efficiently clears out metabolic waste products and toxins, including things like beta amyloid, which is a protein strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. This nightly brain wash is a vital boost for long-term brain health and cognitive longevity. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Okay, so REM sleep is doing everything from helping you cope with daily stress, enhancing creativity, solidifying memories, to potentially preventing long-term cognitive decline. It's not just sleep, it's this incredibly sophisticated nightly process that literally keeps our minds sharp and our emotions balanced. But what happens if we're not consistently getting enough of this vital REM stage? Our sources highlight that REM is particularly vulnerable when sleep patterns get interrupted or shortened. And this can have significant lasting effects that you might even be experiencing right now without realizing it.
This raises an important question for you, our listener. Do you recognize any of these signs in your own life? You might be experiencing a deficiency in REM sleep if you're, say, consistently feeling groggy or soggy upon waking, even after what feels like a full night's rest. It's more of a mental sluggishness than just physical tiredness.
Yeah, that brain fog feeling.
Exactly. Or maybe struggling with focus, finding it hard to concentrate, or noticing real difficulty remembering details or learning new things, experiencing heightened stress, feeling unusually anxious, or noticing more frequent or intense depressive symptoms, like your emotional thermostat feels off-kilter.
Right.
Having vivid nightmares, which can actually be a sign of the brain struggling to process emotions. Or, conversely, finding that you rarely or never recall dreaming at all, that can also be a sign. Finding yourself with increased cravings for sugar or caffeine as your brain tries to sort of artificially stimulate the alertness it's missing.
Ah, the quick fix attempt.
Yeah. Or noticing a reduced spark of creativity and maybe a general decline in your mental resilience, making small challenges feel overwhelming. Chronic loss of REM sleep isn't just about feeling tired. It's linked to a whole cascade of negative health outcomes. We're talking an increased risk of various sleep disorders, accelerated cognitive decline, a reddened immune system, and significant mental health issues. It truly impacts your holistic well-being.
That's a pretty compelling list of reasons to pay attention. Okay, so the good news. There is good news, right? There are several natural, proven methods to help boost your time spent in the REM stage without needing medication. It's largely about optimizing overall sleep quality and supporting your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely hope, and it's often about foundational habits. Our research provides 7 powerful, actionable tips that can make a real difference. First, and maybe the most foundational, honestly, stick to a consistent sleep schedule. This means going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day. Yes, even on weekends.
Ah, the weekend challenge. Why is that so important?
Because it rigorously regulates your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock. And that, in turn, ensures smoother transitions through all sleep cycles, including those crucial REM periods. Your body just thrives on predictability.
Okay, that consistent schedule is often the hardest one for people, I think, but clearly the payoff is huge for getting your body into that rhythm. What's next?
It truly is. Second, limit blue light before bed. We hear this a lot, but it matters. Exposure to blue light from screens, phones, tablets, laptops, TVs, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime, really does delay the production of melatonin. Melatonin is that key hormone signaling to your brain that it's time to wind down. So aim to dim the lights and try to avoid screens for at least an hour, maybe even 2, before you plan to sleep.
Yeah.
Or consider blue light filters if you absolutely must use screens late.
Right, so stop tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime right when it needs to be preparing for its night shift. Makes sense. What about common substances? Alcohol.
Yes. Third, avoid alcohol and sedatives. This is a big one. While a glass of wine might feel like it helps you relax and fall asleep faster, alcohol and many sedatives actually significantly suppress REM sleep. They alter your natural brain activity. They prevent you from reaching those crucial, deeper, longer REM stages. Even if you're technically unconscious for hours, you might be out, but you're not getting that restorative sleep.
That's a classic trap many people fall into, isn't it? Thinking they're helping their sleep, but they're actually shortchanging the quality.
Exactly. Yeah. Fourth, create a calming wind-down routine. This is all about signaling to your brain and body that it's time to transition from the day's activity to rest. Establish a pre-bed ritual that you actually enjoy. It could be reading a physical book, maybe journaling to clear your mind, listening to soft instrumental music, or perhaps drinking a calming herbal tea like chamomile or valerian root. These consistent activities cue your brain to slow down and prepare for deeper sleep.
It's like a gentle deceleration for your mind before hitting the brakes.
Precisely, a nice ramp down. Fifth, exercise early in the day. Regular physical activity is fantastic for overall health, and it significantly improves both the quality and quantity of your sleep, including REM time. The key here, though, is early in the day. Intense workouts too close to bedtime can elevate your core body temperature and stress hormones like cortisol, which can make it harder to fall asleep and potentially disrupt your sleep architecture. Aim for morning or early afternoon if you can.
Okay, move your body, but time it right. Got it. What about some natural support? Supplements.
Sixth, consider natural supplements, cautiously. Our sources mention a few that can be helpful, but they're not a magic bullet, more part of a holistic approach. Magnesium glycinate, for instance, can aid muscle relaxation and calm the nervous system for some people. L-theanine, often found in green tea, might promote relaxation without causing drowsiness. And melatonin can be useful, especially maybe for resetting your sleep-wake cycle if you're dealing with jet lag or a really disrupted schedule. But obviously, always best to consult a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement.
That's a smart caveat. Always good advice. And finally, something that costs nothing.
Indeed. Seventh, get morning sunlight. Aim for 15 to 30 minutes of natural light exposure early in the day, ideally within an hour or so of waking up. This is such a powerful signal to your internal body clock, helping to regulate that circadian rhythm. By reinforcing your daytime alertness properly, you help set yourself up for healthier, more robust REM cycles at night. It's an incredibly simple, yet really effective biohack.
So it's truly about a holistic approach then. Your sleep environment, your daily habits. It's not just trying to force more hours, but optimizing the quality of the hours you do get. Each of these tips seems to work together. Now let's tackle a few common questions that often come up when we delve into the nitty-gritty of sleep stages. For example, a lot of people wonder, which is better, REM sleep or
Yeah.
deep sleep? It's almost like they're competing in a sleep Olympics or something.
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and it's a common misconception. The truth is, both REM and deep sleep are absolutely essential. They're both gold medalists, but they serve distinctly different yet complementary purposes. Deep sleep, that's NREM stage 3, is primarily when your body does most of its physical restoration, muscle repair, immune system strengthening, tissue growth. It's the physical recharge.
Okay.
REM sleep, as we've been discussing, focuses more on the cognitive and emotional repair, memory consolidation, emotional regulation, creativity boost. So neither is inherently superior. A balanced distribution of both is what's critical for truly comprehensive mental and physical restoration. You absolutely need both to function optimally.
That clarifies it perfectly. They're a team, not rivals.
Okay, so if someone does manage to get a full night of sleep, let's say a solid 8 hours, can they still feel rested if they haven't had enough REM sleep specifically? What would that even feel like? It's a good question. Technically, you might feel somewhat rested physically, especially if you manage to get plenty of deep sleep for that bodily repair. However, our sources are unequivocally clear. Without sufficient REM sleep, you will likely experience a different kind of fatigue. You might struggle with processing your emotions, maybe find it hard to remember things, feel a distinct lack of creativity or focus, and notice heightened stress or irritability. It's not just physical tiredness, it's more of a mental and emotional exhaustion that leaves you feeling, well, out of sync. In the long term, consistently skipping REM leads to significant mental and cognitive impairment, not just feeling sluggish.
Right. It really underlines that feeling physically rested isn't the whole picture at all. What about specific sleep disorders? Are there any conditions that disproportionately affect REM sleep?
Yes, absolutely. Some sleep disorders directly impact the REM stage more than others. For example, there's literally something called REM sleep behavior disorder, where people act out their vivid dreams because the normal muscle paralysis during REM is absent. That's a direct hit. But more broadly, common disorders like sleep apnea and insomnia are significant disruptors. They either fragment sleep cycles, drastically reduce the actual time spent in REM, or alter the underlying brain activity needed for healthy REM. And this, in turn, can profoundly affect emotional and mental well-being because the brain just isn't getting its crucial nightly reset.
So it sounds like poor REM sleep can have a truly profound and direct impact on our mental health, going way beyond just feeling a bit tired or grumpy.
It's a very direct link, yes. Consistently low REM sleep is powerfully correlated with an increased risk of depression, anxiety, chronic mood swings, and poor emotional regulation. Since REM sleep is the primary mechanism through which your brain processes emotions and integrates stressful experiences, well, missing out on it leaves you much more vulnerable to these mental health challenges. It's kind of like trying to navigate a complex emotional landscape with a dull, ineffective compass. You just get lost more easily.
That's a powerful analogy. Okay, so what does this all mean for you listening right now? This deep dive has unequivocally shown us that it's not just about the number of hours you spend in bed. It's profoundly about the quality of that sleep and your brain's ability to smoothly progress through and maintain healthy, complete sleep cycles.
That's precisely it. Yeah, the key takeaway is that most adults need that critical 90 to 120 minutes of REM sleep per night, making up roughly 20–25% of your total sleep. And the good news, the really empowering part, is that you have agency here. By optimizing your sleep patterns, committing to a consistent schedule, actively minimizing those nighttime disruptions, you can significantly increase your time spent in this transformative stage. The benefits, as we've explored, are truly transformative for your daily life. Sharper memory, more balanced mood regulation, those bursts of creativity, and robust long-term brain health. It's an investment that pays dividends across every single aspect of your well-being.
So next time you close your eyes, maybe consider the intricate, invisible symphony your brain is conducting. It's not just resting, it's actively processing your day, cementing vital memories, detoxifying itself, and meticulously preparing you for whatever tomorrow may bring. You now have the knowledge and the power to actively support that nightly miracle. Thanks for diving deep with us, and here's to more vibrant, creative, and resilient mornings.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.